Layoffs is the aftermath of the pandemic, with overhiring, overfunding, extremely expensive price to earning ratio, zero interest rates, essentially free money. That is eventually going to dry up, especially when the world is not the same as the pandemic anymore, where everyone was online and using everything online. So tech has a huge demand that needs to be filled with talents. And because of that, a lot of the companies hired people that were underqualified, and that caused a huge surge in the amount of employees that now, with everything going back to normal and with extremely high interest rate, these companies cannot afford these employees anymore. And a lot of time people are asked, why do these companies keep laying off like in quarters every year for the past 2 years now instead of having just one mass layoff? Well, they also don't know how much they need to lay off, and they also need to see the demands of the business as well. And it's very hard to predict a year in advance from now. And of course, this makes sense logically for the business, but we can't really say that it's good for the mental health of the people, because I've witnessed many of my friends and I myself as well are in fear of layoffs all the time. But this is why you should know macroeconomics. For all of the companies that are in consumer packaged goods, companies that are boring like consumer staples, they're doing fine. They have always been doing fine. It's only the very fancy tech companies that are now no longer needing to have that much jobs in whatever fancy tech products that no one use. The recession is typically a clean off of the market, which is a good thing and a bad thing as well. It is going to be extremely hard to raise, but at the same time, for investors who know what they're doing, it is a great time to invest in good businesses for cheap. Unfortunately, for the employees, they're in the aftermath of all that. But of course, I myself is an employee as well, so in order to cope with what's going on in the market, you should be more open-minded to working for a less prestigious company in the typical tech realm, like Walmart, Costco. All those companies are going to be around. What about oil and gas? They're doing better than ever now. And there's nothing wrong with working for those companies. They are tremendous people and provide great values as well. But I think we just want to remind ourselves that what comes up must come down, and revert back to the mean. And layoffs is a natural thing that has to happen, especially after the pandemic, where we were pumping out money and pumping out offers and it was super inflated. And yes, there were a few people who were on the chopping board that did not deserve it, but that's an error issue with what is happening. We just gotta accept it and move on.